I accidentally hit a button, didn't I? Oh, let's see. Now, I was supposed to preach last Sabbath. Oh, by the way, good Sabbath. Sorry. I was supposed to preach last Sabbath, and I always have a struggle on what I'm going to talk about. And I got let off so that I didn't have to do it, you know, kind of. But of course, I was told I'll have it this Sabbath, and so I had another week to stress and try to figure out what I was going to talk about. And of course, I didn't want to come up with my own topic. I wanted God to give me a topic, and I think that's what we should do, right? But sometimes God has His way of doing things, and you know, you think, I'm not punctual. God's always punctual, but sometimes He waits till the last moment. And that's kind of what happened to me. I was thinking about doing a sermon, and I decided I would just start working towards that since I really didn't have anything. And then I listened to Doug Batchelor. It wasn't Doug Batchelor, it was the English guy. I can't remember his name. But he did a wonderful job on the Sabbath school lesson. And then, I'm at work, by the way. I'm working and listening in my little earphones. And then I listened to Patriarchs and Prophets. Now, I've never started that. And I had it on my thing, and I said, well, let me just start listening to this. And she got into talking about Noah and the world before the flood and all the things. And I was just, I don't know, I felt like the Lord was speaking to me, and He gave me this title. And that is A Tower or an Ark. And in listening and contemplating on what I was hearing, I realized that in our lives, we build either an ark or a tower. And so, to further get into that, I think we should look into the differences between the two. And Miss Bonnie read the two scriptures. Let's look at these, and then we'll get into it. And we'll start with the ark. First of all, what was the ark made out of? If we read Genesis 6:14, which Miss Bonnie read, I'll read it again. God commanded Noah, and this is what He said. He said, "Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch." And so the first thing we notice is that the ark was made from wood. Wood comes from living trees. It's a living thing. Okay? And the second thing that He told him to make the ark with was pitch. But my thought was, well, now, what is pitch? And so I did a little research, and I looked into the words in the Hebrew. Well, this is called coal tar pitch, and I think, if I understand it correctly, they melt that down into a kind of a gooey soup. That's one kind of pitch. There's actually and the Hebrew word that's used there means to cover. So it's not necessarily pitch like we think of, tar pitch. It could be another kind of pitch. And as I was doing my research on the internet, I ran into pine pitch. So there is a pitch that's made out of pine. Okay? Excuse me. It's made out of the sap. Well, couldn't this be what perhaps God was telling Noah? Why do I always get Moses and Noah mixed up? Does everybody do that, or is it just me? Okay. You do too. Okay. Well, anyway, I started to wonder if that's not what Noah was instructed to use. I mean, you know, we've lost some of our understanding of those things. The world before the flood, we don't understand everything. But we know that it was a lush world full of forests, and it makes sense that he was using resin. Another thing about that Hebrew word is it can also mean figuratively to make atonement. I thought, well, that's interesting. He's covering it with something that makes atonement. Now, okay. A little button sign. Now, this is a picture of resin. Resin is sort of like the blood in trees. Are you guys following me? Okay. And again, this comes from what? Living things, right? Not dead things, but living things, okay? Resin is sticky enough. If you cover it with a good coat, it would be waterproof, right? Sure. Okay. Another interesting thing is that, have you ever heard of amber? I'm sure you have. She's in here somewhere. Oh, I saw her. Oh, there she is. Amber is actually fossilized tree resin. And this particular one is red, but it comes in a lot of different colors. And that one's gold, and you see what's caught in the resin? It's fossilized around that spider. But anyway, something interesting about amber is in Ezekiel, the color of amber is compared or used to explain what God looks like. And it's probably symbolic, but we don't know for sure. It might be realistic. So we have amber displaying God or explaining what God looks like. Now, another thing that Noah might have used, and I didn't see it in the text personally, maybe I missed it, but he might have used nails. Now, we don't know. He might have dovetailed them and didn't use nails, but it's possible he used nails. Would you all agree that he might have used nails? Okay. All right. Tuck that in the back of your mind. But the most important thing about the ark, the very most important thing, was that the ark was made according to God's instructions. He told Noah to make it, and he told him how to make it. Right? Okay. So with the ark complete, that was salvation. Salvation for Noah and his family, which we are included in. We wouldn't be here without that ark, right? Okay. So the ark is a type of Christ, right? And look, there's the wood. The ark was made out of wood, and here we have wood of cross. There's the Messiah. Remember we talked about the resin being a type of amber or a pre-stage of amber, and amber representing God in some ways. And here we have God on the cross. Also, we talked about that resin was the blood of trees, right? Sort of. And here we have the blood of Christ. Okay? And then lastly, the nails. So it's almost like God put this little picture in there for us. Don't you think? All right. So, the ark was conceived by the wisdom of God. God thought it up. And then it was born through the act of human flesh. Noah had to pound the nails in, right? Okay. Same thing with Jesus. Jesus was conceived by the Holy Spirit, but he was born through a woman, through the flesh. So we have the marrying of the two again. Okay. I think we've covered the ark. Let's look at the Tower of Babel. Will we find the same beautiful picture? Do you think? I see some people shaking their heads. What was the tower made of? Somebody said stone. Let's read the account. Genesis 11, starting at verse 2. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city, and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. Now I want you to notice all through there, well, I'm jumping ahead of myself.